Good day, righteous family, and all praise to only the Almighty, Most High Creator IAH, Creator of Abraam, Isaac, and Yacob. What are your troubles? Psalms 91, 1-4, and I read, He that dwells in the help of the highest shall sojourn under the shelter of the Creator of heaven. He shall say to IAH, Thou art my helper and my refuge, my Redeemer. I will hope in him. For he shall deliver thee from the snare of the hunters, from every troublesome matter. He shall overshadow thee with his shoulders, and thou shalt trust under his wings. His truth shall cover thee with a shield. So be it. For he shall deliver thee from the snare of the hunters, from every troublesome matter. Every troublesome matter. What troubles you? Your job? Your neighbors? Your Christian family members? A certain coworker? Food worries? Gas worries? Whatever troubles you can be taken care of by the Most High Creator IAH. All you have to do is give it to the Most High Creator IAH. Here are some of our testimonies of how the Almighty IAH has taken care of us since we woke up and He moved us to the desert. I say woke me up because my queen was already woke. My queen and I live on 5 acres in a forested high desert in Colorado. Our steady income is around $500 a month. We live in a tiny cabin, totally off-grid. We never worry about needing money for any expense that comes up. We only eat meat that is free of antibiotics and 100% grass-fed, or wild-caught fish, nothing farm-raised. We eat organic veggies and fruits. We have never been cold or hungry since the Most High moved us out here to the middle of nowhere. We have a 400-gallon propane tank that was getting low. We obviously didn't have the money to get it filled, and we hadn't reached out to the Most High yet. We still had about a month's worth of gas, so we were still good. One day I hear a noise outside, and to my surprise, there's a propane truck filling my tank. I told them I didn't order it, and I didn't have the money to pay for it. They said they would talk to their boss when they got back. I spoke to the boss, and long story short, we didn't have to pay for it because it was their mistake. Praise the Most High Creator. The clutch in our 4Runner went out, and the shop couldn't figure it out. We were without a car for 2 months. I was speaking to my brother-in-law, and he asked if we got our car back yet, and I told him no. Next thing we know, my queen's sister handed us a check to get a car. We get to one car lot, tell them how much we have, and they didn't have anything. We went to the next car lot, told them what was up, and this is what he said. Since you've done business with us in the past, I'm going to help you out. He pointed and asked if we liked the 2014 4-wheel drive Tahoe he was pointing at. He said they just put it on the lot today, and it had under 200,000 miles. We drove away within an hour of us getting there. Praise the Most High. We got our 4Runner back with a completely new clutch system in it, even a new reservoir. They only charged me for labor because the reason they had to put a complete new system in it was because they couldn't figure out the problem. They even called Toyota, and they didn't know what to do. I don't remember how, but the Most High also arranged it where the labor charges also got paid for. Praise the Most High Creator. There was a time when my laptop was going out and I needed a new one. I had done some computer work for a professor here locally through an app called Teamweaver, and he asked me if my queen and I could build him a website. We built it out and got paid, and he asked us to build another. We built that one, got paid, and he wanted some maintenance done on the first site. My laptop was seriously messing up, and I told him I had to take it apart and see what I needed to fix it before I could do the work. He brought me a brand new laptop, and he let me choose the specs on it. Praise the Most High Creator. A lot of times when we need money, the Most High will send people our way so we can build them a website. He just sent us a new customer today. Another professor. I also know how to work on cars, so he gives me work that way also. My queen and I also owned a barbecue restaurant, so every once in a while, the Most High will give us a catering job, and those always pay good. He always takes care of us. Praise the Most High Creator. There's a time when my queen's laptop was going out, and she needed a new one. My queen and I built a website for a couple, and as part of the payment for building everything out, my queen ended up with a brand new MacBook Pro. Praise the Most High Creator. Recently, my queen was sick, and there were some natural medicines that we wanted to buy, but didn't have the money. I gave it to the Most High. Having this channel, I speak to some of you and answer your questions. I was speaking to one of you and my queen was brought up. I explained what was going on, and the person offered us money to get the medicine. I told that person that I couldn't take their money because my channel is free and I will never charge for something that was given to me by the Most High to give to those seeking righteousness. Nor would I take their money because I take the time to answer their calls and give them scripture. I'm supposed to do that. I'm supposed to help people walk the righteous path, and I would never charge anything for doing that. It's my pleasure. These are not exact words, but the person said they weren't offering the money for what I put out on the channel. They were doing it because they wanted my queen to feel better, and that they felt that I was putting it on them to offer it. We accepted the money and got the herbal medicine we needed. We thank the Most High for putting that person and all of you seeking righteousness in our lives. Praise the Most High Creator. We pump our water out of our well with a generator. Our generator was on its last leg. We gave it to the Most High. A couple of weeks later, a person from the VFW, or Veterans of Foreign Wars, gave me a call to see how things were going since we never go into town. I told him about the generator, and he said he'd see what he could do. He calls me not a week later and tells me to meet him at Home Depot and to make sure nothing was in the back of the Tahoe. He had told one of the organizations that help vets about our situation, and at their next meeting they brought it up and voted on it. 100% of the members approved it, and they purchased us a new generator. Praise the Most High Creator. For fun, one thing my queen and I do is shoot bow and arrow. One day my bow broke. I asked the Almighty IAH to help me get a new one if it was his will. About a month later, I was passing the local archery store and something told me to pull in. I knew the owner from past purchases, and he was standing at the door when I walked in. He's a Gentile that follows only the Most High. We spoke for a bit and caught up on life, and I told him I was saving up for another bow because mine broke. I'm right-handed, but I shoot a left-handed bow, and I use a technique called thumb draw. I'm the only person that goes into his shop that shoots that way, so he's always asking me questions, and we always talk about the Most High. He told me to give him what I had as far as money, and I could make payments on it. His son was at the register and saw the whole interaction. I went over and picked out a bow. They cut me some new arrows, and the owner says, "Go ahead and take it home. I trust you." I kindly thanked him and went to the register where his son was. His son told me that I had to be special because his dad has never done that since he has owned the store for 15 plus years. He hadn't even done that for family members. I walked out with a new bow and freshly cut arrows. Praise the Most High. Gasoline. When my queen and I were bringing in over $200,000 a year, we always tried to keep our gas tanks in our cars at least 3/4 of the way full. After the Most High humbled us and made us live on a tight budget, it was impossible to keep the tanks filled like that. I can say that we've never ran out of gas, and whenever we need to go anywhere that is farther than what we have in the tank, the Almighty IAH always provides. One time we needed to drive out of town but didn't have the gas. I gave it to IAH. The next day we were gifted 3 $50 gas cards. Another time I had enough gas to get to town, but probably not enough to make it home. I gave it to IAH. The day before we had to go in for supplies, my neighbor needed a ride into town. He said that if I drove him around to a couple of stores, he'd fill my tank. Done deal. Thank you, IAH. I can go on and on with odd truths of how the Most High is taking care of our gas situations. We're to the point now where we don't care what's in the tank. We know that the Almighty IAH will get us where we need to go, as He always has. Right now, I have a 1/4 tank of gas in the generator, and my spare tanks are empty. I don't know how much money we have on us, but I'm sure it's not much. My queen and I are not worried one bit, and we couldn't be happier. We know that something's going to happen where we're going to receive money or gas by simply telling the Most High that we need gas. Praise the Most High Creator. It is such a beautiful feeling knowing the Almighty is going to take care of you that words can't describe it. It can only be experienced. Let me read that again. It is such a beautiful feeling knowing the Almighty is going to take care of you that words can't describe it. It can only be experienced. We've been programmed by our enemies that true happiness is a family with a big house, with a white picket fence, 2 cars, and a dog. The Most High showed my queen and I that we didn't have to live by their American dream. He showed us that their American dream is voluntary slavery. He showed us that we can live in total happiness, wanting for nothing and receiving everything we ask for, simply by following His laws, statutes, and commandments. Praise the Almighty IAH. My queen and I were speaking to my teacher and his queen on the phone. I was asking him questions about our new moon, and it came up that we didn't own a shofar. Through the kindness of their hearts, they brought us shofars, and we are eternally grateful to them and to the Most High for putting them in our lives and giving us knowledge and the shofars. Praise the Most High Creator. One day I told the Almighty that I can't wait for the day to eat some good fruit. A couple of days later, one of my neighbors brought over a large box of locally grown peaches. I'm not a fan of peaches, but I tasted one, and it was one of the best peaches I've ever eaten in my life. About a week after that, my other neighbor brought over a box of locally grown apples and pears. I didn't even ask for any of it. I just mentioned it to the Most High. And the next thing I know, we have more peaches, pears, and apples than we can eat. Another time, I told my queen I wish I could buy some good plums. I believe what they serve in the stores isn't real fruit. Soon after, I was cruising through town to get supplies, and there was a guy selling fruit on the side of the road. Something told me to check it out. He sold the best locally grown plums that I've tasted here in the area. I bought some plums, and as I was walking away, he told me that if I ever want fruit or vegetables, and I don't have the money, to please tell him, and I can have the produce for free. He told me that he knows the Most High walks with me. I had never met this guy in my life. If that's not the Most High's work, I don't know what is. Praise the Most High IAH. I can go on and on how the Almighty has provided for my queen and I. We might be poor country folk, but we are happier than we've ever been. And everything we need is provided to us via the Almighty Creator. We want for nothing and receive everything we ask Him for. How do you get rid of your troubles? He tells us in verse 4. And I read, He shall overshadow thee with His shoulders, and thou shalt trust under His wings. His truth shall cover thee with a shield. So be it. His truth is His word, His laws, statutes, and commandments, found only in our book of remembrance. When we follow His laws, statutes, and commandments, He protects us and provides for us. He takes our troubles away. Like I've said in past videos, He gives us the tools. We just have to use them. Don't be ashamed to go to the Almighty IAH. Don't feel like you're bothering Him. Don't feel that because you've sinned so hard before you woke up that you have no right to ask Him for anything. He tells you to give Him your wants and needs. Do what He tells you. Give Him your troubles. He tells you to follow His law, statutes, and commandments. You're doing that the best you can in these heathen nations without priest or the Most High's temple. He tells you He answers your prayers and tells you to give Him your wants and needs. Are you following that order the best you can? My queen and I depend on the Most High for 100% of everything. Depend might be the wrong word, though. The Most High tells us that if we walk righteously and follow His law, statutes, and commandments, that He will reward us, provide for us, and protect us from everything. My queen and I walk as righteous as we know how and reap His benefits. Whatever your troubles are, even if you have a question that troubles you, ask Him. Give Him all your troubles and receive peace. Allow Him to let you live in His matrix and not the matrix given to us through mainstream media by our enemies. Let Him show you peace while living in these heathen nations. Give Him your troubles. All praise to only the Almighty, Most High Creator IAH, Creator of Abraam, Isaac, and Yacob. The Most High loves you. He woke you up. He gave you the knowledge and the sight and the understanding to read His book and to try to walk in righteousness. He loved you enough to do that regardless of the things that you did before. He loves you. Use Him. I love you. Have a beautiful day, family, and all praise to only the Almighty, Most High Creator. I love you, family.